All right, no bullshit. Let's get right into why you clicked the title of this video. So the more videos that I put out and the more conversations that I have with people down in the comments below, the more that I realize that there are investors out there in the community that are maybe like me. They think that they might have FOMO bought. I'm not saying FOMO bought like in June when this thing ripped to $70 intraday. I'm saying FOMO bought in the sense that you felt like you missed out on the GME play because GME was roughly, what was that, like September to January when it ripped to $400 or whatever it was intraday. Some people who were watching this stock, me included, who were staying on the sidelines because, full disclosure, I did not buy any GME. I still, to this day, do not own a single share of GME. But when I watched what happened with GME, I couldn't help but feel like, did I miss the boat? Was I wrong about my call? Because when I was watching GME, I thought, hell no. If that stock squeezes or not, because at the end of the day, you could potentially be a bag holder. I did not feel comfortable being a bag holder on GME. I did not want to own the stock if it did not squeeze. I did not believe in the fundamentals. I did not believe in the story or the business model of the company. I kind of liken GME, to the video game version of Blockbuster. And we all know what happened to Blockbuster. Gone. They have one store remaining in Oregon, I believe it is, and it's basically a nostalgia store, and lots of people, it's like a tourist attraction. People flock all over the world. Somehow that one store remained open. So anyways, if you're like me, you probably and likely are thinking, well, you know, watching what happened to GME, did I miss the boat? Did I miss this opportunity? And yes, I'll put it on the record right now. Do I feel like a dummy and did I make the wrong call? Absolutely. And benefit, or as they say, hindsight is 20/20, right? The benefit of hindsight, the benefit of looking back through the past and looking at charts backwards, of course, it definitely exposes you to things that you're like, oh, I should have known that. But nobody knows. Like, you got to remember, right? We live our lives from today going forward in the chart of a stock. It's easy to go from here and look backwards, but it's hard to be here and look forward because nobody has a crystal ball. Absolutely nobody, not even Warren Buffett has a crystal ball. So if you are holding AMC right now and you are thinking, and maybe you're doubting yourself, you're thinking, well, did I FOMO buy this because of GME? Did I miss the boat on GME? Did I only buy AMC because what happened to GME, I missed it, you know, all that FOMO shit? Well, I'm here to tell you that in my honest opinion, in my analysis, I'm not talking all the YouTuber, Reddit, Wall Street Bets, any Twitter, none of that DD. In my own, as a very analytical guy myself, a guy who, honestly, like, it takes me a long time. I was recently researching buying a camera, and I was, deep into research. Sony versus Canon. Do I get the Sony a7S III? Do I get the Canon R5 or the Canon R6? Like, deep into the shit, like watching hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos on this subject, to the point where my wife was just like, for fuck's sakes, make a fucking decision. Like, buy the Sony, buy the Canon. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you watching these videos. Just fucking buy a camera. Like, that's the kind of guy I am. So when it came to AMC, I asked myself, am I buying this because of FOMO? Am I buying this because I feel like I missed out on GME? And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that the answer is no. The setup for AMC, yes, it looks similar in certain regards, but the setup, in my opinion, is completely different than GME. Like, could not be further from the truth. And here's why. GME, for one, is not an American company. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I invested in AMC, is because of nostalgia. I knew that this is an American company, and Americans are very proud, very patriotic. We love, we don't like outsourcing things. We are very much against outsourcing factories and jobs to other countries. Dare I say China. So with AMC, I knew that, hey, like, not only the nostalgia of remembering to go to AMC when you were a kid, but also the fact that it's an American company. I knew that the setup was completely different because whether it's squeezed or not, post-pandemic, I felt like anyways, there was going to be a huge surge in customers back to this company and therefore fundamentals. So from that point alone, I was like, you know what? I agree with this company. I agree with this stock because with GME, it's, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong with this, but I believe it's an Australian company. I just didn't feel like it had that same emotional, nostalgic connection to Americans like AMC does. So one, yes, like I've been saying, AMC, nostalgic, emotional connection. Americans were going to drive like in droves back to the theaters post-pandemic. So whether it's squeezed or not, I felt like people, just like in the Roaring 20s, right? The boom that happened in the Roaring 20s after the Spanish flu of 1919, I feel like people were going to drive back to this company, which would help its fundamentals. But then again, the setup to me felt different because one, nobody got behind GME like they did AMC. GME had its devout, very, very loyal followers, but with the backing of the nostalgia and the American company aspect, AMC had a ton of following and a ton of backing and ownership of the float, and very, very, very loyal owners versus GME. I feel like GME was just purely a short squeeze play. Nobody really gave a shit about the company, whether it survived or not. It was more or less just a, you know, fuck you, Wall Street, it's us versus you. Whereas AMC, I feel like the following is extremely loyal, like extremely loyal. Like people want this company to survive so bad that they are willing to bet their lives and their life savings on it because nobody wants to see this company fail. We all grew up going to AMC theaters. So that's kind of the point of this video. If you feel like you have FOMO bought into AMC, whether it was in February, March, April of 2021, you know, a lot of us bought before the real FOMO buying of like, you know, $50, $60, $70 in June. But the people that feel like they FOMO bought in, you know, February, March, April, because they felt like they missed out on GME, I don't think you're correct in thinking that. And maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments below. I just don't think that you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe you're just down on yourself because things aren't, you know, the stock's not $70 anymore, and you're kind of questioning your decision and your purchase and your investment in this company. I just think, I think you need to put that away. I don't think you actually FOMO bought this. I think there was real, and there is real conviction, and there is a real DD of why this play is different. And I think, in my humble opinion, I think you need to keep holding because the stock has not, it's not done. It has not finished yet. The curtain has not called. The last act has not played yet. There is still so much going on, and the story is yet to be written. So do you want to sell now and potentially miss out on future gains? Or do you want to sell now at a loss and then kick yourself later? I'm at the point where, again, I bought this stock because I'm happy to hold it. I'm happy to hold it wherever it lands, but it's gotten to the point now where I'm holding it, you know, it's past fundamentals, it's past all that shit. I'm holding it now because it's either going to fucking zero or it's going to the moon. But I'm willing to bet and willing to take the risk, coming from a guy who kind of has, you know, I got a decent risk tolerance in the stock market, but I do have a long horizon, so I have to be careful on how much risk I take because I still have a lot to accomplish and a lot of things I want to do financially. So I don't want to take too much risk, but this is coming from a guy who does have a moderate to low risk tolerance, and I'm still willing to bet that it's worth seeing, what happens to this. And I'm willing to watch this thing either go to zero or go to the moon. That's the risk I'm willing to take, and I think all of us, we're at that point now. It's ride or die, baby. It's fucking ride or die. I mean, I can't speak for you. I cannot, absolutely, this is not financial advice. I cannot speak for you. However, I personally, I've invested amount into the stock that I am willing to watch it go to zero if that's what needs to happen, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going in a completely other direction. So hang on tight, strap in. I'm parked right now, but put your seatbelt on, baby, because I think this ride is only getting started. It's just getting started, and there's going to be a lot of interesting things to come. I'm not calling the MOAS. I'm not doing any of that bullshit like some YouTubers do. I just think we're not done yet. Just keep watching. Okay, peace.